Welcome back to Criticulous. Let me set the stage for you. I went into this second installment of Beetlejuice more excited than Thor at Lowe's with a pocket full of hammer coupons. As a huge fan of the original, I was ready to embrace the chaos that made the first film an instant classic. I was even prepared to give it a positive review, whether it sucked or not. That's where my head was at when I sat down in front of the big screen.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Now, for the bad news. After enduring this huge pile of regret and only laughing once, I just can't do it. I have to stay honest for my loyal tribe. This movie sucked so bad, even Dyson was impressed.
It certainly does suck.
I'm pretty sure I checked my wrist at least 3 times, and I don't even own a watch. Now, I know what you're thinking. Patty Hornbuckle, you're just harshly judging this movie because of your love for the original. You have sequelitis and those cool-ass nostalgia goggles glued to your face. Nothing you say really matters, so piss off. To that, let me just say,
Well. Bye.
Nice.
now that we've cleared that up, let's talk about it. First off, let's mention the brightest star of the film, Michael Keaton.
The juice is loose.
There's no question, he's the man. He gave us some amazing characters with Beetlejuice and Batman. Honestly, I wish they'd just merge the two and come out with a film called Batjuice. I'd go see that twice on Sunday. I can picture the overpriced theme cup of sugary sludge in my hands even now.
What do you want, boob?
Purple sugar slush. King size.
Sadly though, it's not the same Beetlejuice we remember. He just felt toned down, like he wasn't given enough material to really go for it this time around. That chaotic energy from the original, barely there, like the phaser was set to stun instead of kick-ass. Maybe age finally caught up with Keaton. That said, he was still the only part of the film worth watching. Honestly, they could have made a 90-minute flick of him wandering around, busting balls and hitting on women, and it would have been way better for it. Now, next on the list, Winona Ryder, or, as I like to call her, the Cringe-Face Whisperer. Seriously, there isn't a scene in this movie where she's not making a shocked face, whispering her lines, or bulging her eyeballs out of her head. I'm starting to understand why they barely let her act in the original. She has the acting range of a mannequin at Hot Topic. Also, didn't she get caught shoplifting at one point in her life? And this was when she had millions. Seems like a real stable individual if you ask me. But let's not beat a dead horse. Time to move on. I need you to brace yourself because I'm about to pay this movie a compliment. The visuals and practical effects were a welcome sight for my eyes to feast on. They blended well with the original film, and it was nice to revisit familiar territory when it came to the look of the dead and the overall vibe of the world Tim Burton created. That's one thing they didn't seem to mess up. I guess you could say I want to give props to the movie's props. Okay, that joke really sucked, but I already knew that before I said it.
Who's the dummy now?
Now for my final thoughts, let's wrap this up like a bar full of drunk people making bad decisions. Keaton was decent, but you'll probably forget why by tomorrow. Ryder is too busy daydreaming about robbing clothing stores to bother with acting. The script was so packed with subplots, you'll fall asleep just trying to keep up. They could have cut Monica Bellucci's role as Dolores. Served no meaningful purpose for the film. Some scenes just dragged on for way too long. It felt brutal. Like the scene with Dolores putting herself together with a stapler.
I believe you have my stapler.
And the dancing on the train. Seriously, who the approved that in the final cut? I really want to know. That scene fit about as well as Shaquille O'Neal driving a Prius. Somebody must have owed someone a favor. So, what do I rate this film? That is a great question. I give Beetlejuice 1 shrunken head out of 10. Until next time,